Perceived danger. What do we perceive as a threat in town? If a woman was leaving the office building to go out to her car late at night, and there was someone lurking beside the car with a hoodie on, clenched fists, she's probably not going to walk over to her car. She's probably going to do the smart thing and go back into the building and wait until he's gone, or have someone else escort her out to the car just to be on the safe side. If you had the option of going down these stairs that you're not really sure about what's at the bottom behind that door, you're probably going to choose a different route to go home. Or if there is a tunnel full of a group of guys, a couple of them look like they might be holding baseball bats, you're probably going to go on a different route. Some people will say, oh, I'm not concerned. I'm just going to walk through like that. That group of guys doesn't bother me at all. Especially if you're a man, right? But if you had a 2-year-old child with you, would you give me a different answer? Probably. Just want to stay on the safe side and not take any chances, so that you're always have the safety of your 2-year-old child in mind. Always want to keep them safe. For dogs, what do they perceive as a threat? The garbage truck, right? That can be really scary for a lot of dogs. I remember the first time my dog Tootsie heard a garbage truck, her ears went back and she went running towards the door. She really wanted to go back inside again. She was very afraid. The garbage truck can be scary because it's big, it's noisy, has this weird arm that comes out and takes the food that they may or may not have been trying to get into that morning. A group of joggers can be really stressful for dogs. A group coming towards you like that is a pack, right? So either running away from something that they're afraid of or running towards you to attack, right? And if there's a lot of energy going on and people are laughing and talking, that can feel even more overwhelming. If someone is jogging past you and they stop for a moment and say, oh, what a cute dog, and they reach down to pet your dog is a lot more likely to feel uncomfortable with them. That's why so many bicyclists and joggers get bitten, because dogs feel threatened and they usually come up on you really quickly, right? If you saw a snarling dog or a cougar out on a trail, you're not going to go and try to make friends with them. You're going to leave as quickly and safely as possible. The same thing for dogs. The snarling dog, the cougar, they're going to avoid, and someone walking their dog can also be perceived as a threat from your dog. They're not just seeing someone walking towards you. This lady looks like she's got a smile on her face, but it doesn't mean that she's having a great day. To be polite, usually people will smile as they're walking past, right? She may have had an awful day. She's feeling completely stressed out. All of that stress is traveling down the leash to her dog that says, gosh, you're stressed, now I'm really worried too. I'll be more on the alert then. Dogs are reading other people's energy, the other dog's energy and emotions. Something else to be aware of is that we've changed the way that dogs look so much. There are so many different breeds, and that can be confusing. They're giving mixed messages. For example, if a dog has cropped ears, they look like they're on the alert all the time. If a dog is maybe an English bulldog or a boxer with the wrinkles, it looks like they're snarling all the time. Any dog with a cropped tail, are you happy to see me? Because I sure can't tell. Or a dog with heckles on their back all the time, like the Rhodesian Ridgeback. That's just the way they look constantly, but heckles usually mean, oh, something's wrong, right? So there's so much miscommunication between different dogs now. Something else to consider is that the other dog may have been attacked by a dog that looks like your dog. This happens so much. Let's say this lady says, oh, can we just stop and say hi? I'm really trying to help him make more friends. And you say, okay, well, I have a new dog here and they haven't had any bad experiences. I just want to make sure and double check, is your dog friendly? Oh yeah, my dog's super friendly. I've had him for a year. He's 4 years old. He's never attacked anyone. 1 minute the tails are wagging and the next he's attacking your puppy, right? Because that lady doesn't know that her dog was attacked before she adopted him by a dog that looks like your dog. It happens all the time, unfortunately. Dogs are also more likely to get attacked if they have a health issue, which most senior dogs do, or if they've been to the vet that day. We can't smell it, but other dogs can smell that weird smell just from a dog getting a Bordetella shot, right? And vets can feel very stressful for dogs. Just going to the vet's office, it's like walking on an ice skating rink. As soon as they walk in, they can smell death, they smell injury, they smell all of the weird medications, and most people are usually uncomfortable or maybe upset or stressed out in the vet's office. It's not the most comfortable place for dogs to be, and nothing fun ever happens there. I recommend leaving your dog in the car when you get to the vet, checking in and asking them to come out to the car and meet you when it's your turn to go in for your appointments. You're not sitting in the waiting room causing your dog stress that they don't need to be exposed to. And when the appointment is finished, take your dog out to the car first, then go back in and check out. This will make the whole experience a lot more relaxed for your dog. You might think, well, my dog loves other dogs. They're really friendly. I'm not worried about anything happening. But you can't predict the other dog's behavior. It's always advisable if you're out on a walk with your dog and you see someone coming with another dog or even someone walking without a dog, right? Most people that are walking without dogs in the area that I live don't feel comfortable with dogs. Maybe they were attacked as a young child and they don't really feel safe. They don't want your dog rushing up to say hello. I recommend in either case, whether your dog is nervous with people or other dogs, or if they love saying hi to everyone or hi to all of the other dogs, getting off the trail before someone comes. Get as far off the trail as possible. Stand in between the person and the dog passing by and your dog, so you're a barrier in between them. And just looking at your dog calmly and asking them to wait. This will help a dog who's feeling nervous and uncomfortable with whoever's passing by. And if your dog really gets excitable, this is helping your dog learn how to have manners and be calm and realize that they don't get to say hi to every person and dog that passes by. So many people think, I need to socialize my dog so that they have lots of friends. Dogs aren't lying home on their dog bed on a Friday night thinking, I don't have enough friends. Socializing really isn't natural for dogs to do. Imagine a dog pack out in the wild. They're not going to say, oh, let's go make friends with the other dog pack. Let's trek 300 miles that way and go and have fun and play with them. Because now they're encroaching on their food source and their territory, and there is going to be a fight, right? That doesn't mean that your dog can't have friends. But I recommend really making sure that your dog feels calm and relaxed and really trusts you, that you know what energy they feel comfortable with, so that you can match them up with dogs that are going to be a good fit. Just like, for example, if a child is getting off the school bus, a parent doesn't just randomly pick another child from the school bus and say, why don't you come home and play with them tonight? They're going to ask their child who their friends are and who they'd like to come over and play that evening, right? You want to make sure that another dog is a good match energy-wise for them, they're a good match personality-wise, and not all dogs feel comfortable with other dogs. It depends what they've gone through in their history. Let's touch on dog parks. Dog parks can be very overwhelming and difficult for a lot of dogs, especially if they're a rescue dog or they're really sensitive to energy and emotions, or they're insecure. If you have a dog who's insecure, they're much more likely to get attacked, because in the wild they don't say, oh, bless your heart, you're really insecure and let's build up your confidence. They say, we're taking you out, you're the weak link. And the other dog's going to feel that energy. If your dog has a health issue, if they've been at the vet, they're much more likely to get attacked as well. The dog park can be really difficult for a dog to navigate, because every time another dog joins the pack at that park, they're being assessed by everyone else there. If you have a dog who's really assertive and is used to being in charge, and there is another dog at the park, they can really butt heads by saying, I'm in charge, no, I'm in charge, right? If you have a puppy who is used to really getting their way and bugging the adult dog in the home by saying, play with me, play with me, play with me. And your dog at home just kind of puts up with it, but they do this to another dog at the dog park. Your puppy could easily get bitten by a senior dog that says, I'm really old and achy and I don't want you in my space, leave me alone. Or you may have a dog that loves playing fetch, so you go to the dog park with them, you have to chuck it, you're throwing the ball for them, and another dog comes running over and says, oh, I love the fetch game too, but your dog is ball possessive. Now the dogs are in a fight. You have irresponsible people that knowingly take their dog who's attacked other dogs before to the park and hope it doesn't happen again, and they don't have good recall. Or you have some parents who think it's really fun to take their children, run around and play with the dogs, like an accident waiting to happen. Think of the dog park like this. If I said to you, part of this training is going to a party. I'm going to drop you off for a couple of hours and then I'll pick you up. I drop you off and there's 20 people. There's a little girl walking around with her doll. There's a little boy pushing his Tonka truck around. There's a couple arguing in one corner. There's a lady in a wheelchair whizzing around. There's some teenagers in another corner. You have someone that's sitting in a chair. They look like they'd rather melt into the wall than be there. You've got Chatty Cathy walking around. Have a great time, they're all human. That's what it feels like, right? Just because they're another canine doesn't mean that they're a good personality match, energy match, and it's very important to be aware of that. Some of my clients take their dogs to a dog park. They take them early in the morning. They know the usual crowd that goes there, and they read the room, so to speak. If a new dog comes in that they've never seen before, they watch that dog's energy and behavior, and if they sense that it might not be a good fit for their dog, they've got great recall, they call their dog back, and they leave. Anything that a dog doesn't understand can be a potential threat. It could be a plastic bag blowing in the bush, or a bicycle on the sidewalk, right? It's very important to avoid those potential threats. Don't take them up to the potential threat and try to get them over their fear. I'll share a story with you. It's one that you'll probably never forget. One of my clients shared this with me years ago, and it stayed with me. They had a friend who was working with a different trainer, and they had a dog who was really, really afraid of dogs. The trainer that they were working with said, you need to take her up to every dog she meets out on a walk just to help her realize that dogs are friendly and she needs to just get over this. Well, this is what the lady did. She took her dog up to every other dog that she met when she was out on a walk, while her dog was just trembling in fear. One day, she took her up to a German Shepherd, reached down, grabbed her by the scruff, flung around, and killed her right in front of the lady. Not because that dog was aggressive, but her dog was a little white fluffy dog, looked like a bunny rabbit, and was really acting like prey. So the dog did what was in its instinct. It's very important that you honor their fear and don't force them to go up to something that they're really afraid of. Give it a really wide berth, yawn a lot to give them comfort. Let them know that you've got this. You would never go up to the bear to say, you're going to give me a hug or eat me for lunch. You would just assume it's probably going to eat you for lunch and avoid it. We need to show dogs that they can trust us when they're out of the house with us, that we're always going to do what the leader would do, avoid the potential threat. Walking your dog outside of the home is really like the equivalent of the Amazon jungle. Let's say that you're gone on a trip to the Amazon jungle with a group of friends or your family. You're in the thick of the Amazon jungle and all of a sudden you hear this blood-curdling noise. The hair stands up on the back of your neck and you all say, let's run in the other direction, as you're hoping that something doesn't come charging out of the brush, attack you, and have you for lunch. That experience would be terrifying, wouldn't it? However, it would be completely different if you had hired an experienced guide to lead you through the Amazon jungle. You hear this blood-curdling noise and you can say, what was that noise? And they say, don't worry about it. It's actually a howler monkey. I know it sounds really scary, but you can just relax and breathe. Everything's fine. You're not just going to hire anyone off the street to lead you through the Amazon jungle, are you? You're going to make sure that they have enough experience and you can trust them because you're putting your life and your family or friend's life in their hands. Remember that this is what you're asking your dog to do when you take them into their equivalent of the Amazon jungle. The big question is, who's the leader of your house? This dog looks really afraid. Oh my gosh, everyone stay in the comfort and safety of the home. I know how to control things here, but everything out there is super scary. We hear the knock, knock, knock on the door. You might be thinking, oh great, pizza's here, I'm so hungry. Or, oh, I bet that's Aunt Margaret. She's due to arrive any moment. She is such a hoot. Oh, I ordered this game on Amazon. I bet that's what it is. I think it's UPS. I wonder if it's our new neighbor. She is the sweetest. Every time she bakes a pie, she always brings us one. That's not what your dog is thinking. Every time they hear the knock, knock, knock on the door, they're thinking, danger, danger, who's at the door? You have Puma delivery, Uncle Teddy, the stranger, or the neighbor dog who's never the friendly dog because they're all protecting their own territory. When a dog hears a noise outside or at the front door, they can feel like you would if you saw this. Someone trying to break into your home. It gives you a little start, doesn't it, when you see it at first? Imagine how stressful that is, not understanding the world around you and every little noise that they don't understand or that they perceive to be a threat in the past stresses them out. It's every pack member's job to be on the alert, even when you're in the leadership role. So now when your dog barks, instead of getting frustrated with them, know that what they're really saying is, oh my gosh, I'm really worried about this. As a pack member, it's my job to alert you. How should we handle this? Big question is, who's sitting on the throne? Who is the leader of your pack? Who's the guardian, the dog parent?